Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon, friends and allies. Thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the Mongolian National Day. We are thrilled to have our special guest speaker, our very own Tuya Bliss. As we celebrate the Mongolian National Day, I'm going to pass the mic to my co-lead, Rinaldi, to introduce our very special guest speaker, Tuya Bliss. Rinaldi?
Thanks, Steph. So happy Naadam celebration. Let the games begin. Today, 7/11, is the official start of the Naadam celebration in Mongolia. It has wrestling, horse racing, archery, and dancing. And these games during this time is held all around the country. These games have been practiced for hundreds of years and centuries. And in 2010, these games were inscribed into a list of cultural heritage of humanity at UNESCO. As a country, Mongolia is nestled between Russia and China and is landlocked with vast plains and big sky. And there's only a population of 3 million, so it's super rare to have Tuya here. She's one of us, so it's super cool, and we're super proud at SFO. Tuya Bliss was born in Mongolia, immigrated to the United States about 20 years ago. She is in mechanical engineering and design construction. She's an engineering associate for the last 9 years here. And before that, she was downtown at Public Works in landscape architecture for 5 years. So AAPI SFO is super excited to have Tuya share her rich cultural heritage and stories about Mongolia today. And she also brought some friends. And with that, Tuya, thank you for today. We look forward to what you'll share with us. And just be warned for all of us on the call, if you get inspired to travel, we can actually thank Tuya for that. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Rinaldi. Thank you for your beautiful introduction. Happy Naadam, everyone. Naadam means festival, and this is July 11th. July 11th is a huge celebration and big deal for all Mongolians across the nation in the United States. Naadam is a symbol of integrity, respect, and honor. So today we also commemorate 5 major historic anniversaries. Number 1, the 2232nd anniversary of formation of the Mongol state, the 817th anniversary of the Great Mongol Empire, the 112th anniversary of the restoration of national freedom and independence, 102nd anniversary of the People's Revolution, and last but not least, 34th anniversary of our democracy. So this is a historic event, and it's been celebrated for centuries, as you can see. In the Naadam, let me share my screen. So Naadam, as Rinaldi mentioned, we do have arts and cultural stuff like dance and songs, performances, as well as there's 3 main games. They are called Naadam, the 3 games of men. But what it really means is the 3 game of warriors. So they are wrestling. About 1,024 wrestlers come and compete on this day. But since it's 1,000, over 1,000, it can't be done for one day. So it has to expand to 2 to 3 days to finish this wrestling game. And then there's a horse racing. Horse racing, all ages from 5 to 12 years, boys and girls race. And it's a competition of speed and agility. The third one is archery. Archery encompasses for men and women of all ages, and it also have more than 500 participants. By the way, the horse racing includes more than 1,000. Some years we had 4,000 horse races happen during the Naadam festival. So you can see we are big time horse riding folks. And as well as traditional outfit and dance costumes, there are about 20 different ethnic groups in Mongolia, and everyone has their own tribal outfits. So such as mine is outfit, and each of us shows and displays our unique identity and our historical importance of it. So everyone wears their traditional Dale outfit on this day. It's always usually a brand new outfit for this special auspicious occasion. And one thing we eat at the NAADAM is for sure, what I'm holding is round, kind of like pancake with a meat inside, but it's deep fried, super delicious. But this, without for sure, NAADAM won't be a fun event. So everyone must have and must try one. And last but not least, performances. The performances is outstanding. There's actually acrobatics and circus and all superstar shows and children's performance, etc. So for 3 to 5 days, we have constant dancing and singing and celebrating this event. Now I'm going to switch my presentation to what's called UNESCO's historical documentation about what NAADAM is.
The Mongolian Naadam, known also as Iringorun Naadam or Three Manly Games, has a long history and been celebrated with respect among Mongolian ethnic groups for centuries. The Mongolian Naadam is a national festival consisting of 3 sporting games of horse race, wrestling, and archery. Each of them has unique features of folk ritual, oral traditions, folk performing arts, social practices, traditional knowledge, and craftsmanship. Mongolians follow special rituals and practices inherited from ancient times, while they wear unique costumes, use distinctive attires and jeers, and sing special praise songs and rhymes. Moreover, winning wrestlers, archers, and race horses are appraised with praise songs and awarded special titles. Mongolian Naadam was originated among Mongols and is confined to the Mongolian nationality. Thus, Mongolian traditional festival is very unique and doesn't exist other nations and ethnic people. One of the 3 hearthstones of Naadam is the wrestling. When the wrestling bouts start, judges in 8, 16, or 32 are divided into 2 groups and line at the right and left side of the wrestling side before starting to watch and judge wrestling bouts. At the beginning of odd rounds of the Mongolian traditional wrestling competition, judges appraise the leading wrestlers' titles, topping the left and right wings. Judges will hold wrestler's hat and sing appraisal songs to present the wrestler to the audience, whereas the wrestler will show eagle and Garuda dance and run to the spot to wrestle. Wrestlers start bouts and compete to win the competitor while showing their strengths and bravery along with tricks and techniques. Wrestlers try to make the competitor to fall on the ground with his elbows, knees, or any other part of the body touching to the ground. The wrestling requires special costumes, including a hat, zodog or shirt without the front side, shodog or shorts, and boots that all have aesthetic meanings and purposes. To make the costume of the wrestling, various materials from leather to animal skin ropes, silk and cotton are used and decorated with different patterns, in addition to ensuring durability when sewing, knitting, and knotting fabrics. The winning wrestlers do another eagle dance, swinging arms 3 times at sides, and come back to the defeated wrestler to do a special ritual tahimawah, or to ensure acknowledgement of victory and defeat. The defeated wrestler unties the knots of zadok belt to indicate the sign of defeat. The winning wrestler of each bout walk around the auspicious banner, which is erected in front of the main tent, clockwise once to perform the ritual while doing eagle's dance. From the 5th round, winning wrestlers earn titles starting from hawk, falcon, elephant, garuda, and lion to champion. Archery is another component of Naadam festival. This is an extremely ancient heritage. Bows and arrows were used originally as hunting implements, later military weapons, and more recently as kind of sports. Archery, who won the Naadam competition, is awarded the title of Mergen. The traditional archery gears include bows and arrows. While bows are made from birch as the main part, lined with horn stripes and sinews through employing traditional methods, such as soaking the birch in cold water for over a year. The target is called zurkhai, consisting of leather balls neatly lined at the flat ground in 2 rows. Each archer shoots 40 arrows, and the one who shot targets most will win the competition. Archers are shooting in package of 4s, starting from the highest ranked ones with national titles. Archers also sing a special cry, horai, with 3 different purposes, including warm-up invitation, scoring and cheering, and boards that all indicate event, orders, and route competing archers. Warm-up invitation horai is performed before shooting, whereas scoring horai upon the hit of targets, and board horai while recording scores on the board. Archery competition consists of 2 categories: Han archery with big bows and Hassa archery with small bows. Men shoot from the distance of 75 meters and women from 65 meters to the target. One of 3 manly games of Naadam is horse race. Rituals and traditions of organizing horse race competition during Naadam have unique features and orders. Horse trainers choose potential race horses among horse flocks and train meticulously, adjusting daily training and feeds. Race horses usually have their hair and tails trimmed to improve their appearances, while their owners or horse trainers use special wooden stick and brush to remove sweat of the horse and clean up them after horses raced. Those sweat removing tools are often carved and decorated with traditional patterns and images. Before the horse race starts, a famous folk song known as Tumni or Mighty Among 10,000s is normally performed with playing a horsehead fiddle as customs, whereas the song Holtmur or Fast Horse is performed upon the arrival of racehorses to the finish line. Horse races have age-specific categories such as stallions, adults, 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds, and 1-year-old that they race in different distance categories. The horse race has the distinct ritual oral heritage as eulogy praising the winner horses. Racehorse title singing refers to articulating well-wishing rhymes in musical tones for top-winning horses. Title singing is a unique form of praise poem of social practices. When singing horse titles, airag or fermented mare's milk is offered to the jockey children and racehorse owners while spilling a little on the foreheads and hips of winning horses. Due to airag-involved rituals during awarding ceremony, the top 5 winning horses are regarded as airag's 5. Ordinary people, in particular youths and children, take part in rituals and ceremonies of the Mongolian Naadam, so that it is important to educate them with moral ethics and upbringing to respect the nature and mankind, to promote national solidarity and harmony, to cooperate and cherish life within collective communities. Mongolians respect and love Naadam, referring as looking forward to the unique and only one in the world, to cherish our heroic history and culture until the hill is lowered. Mongolians love to dress up during Naadam and refresh their physical and spiritual strength of the year with its cheery and upbeat moods. The inscription of Mongolian traditional festival on the UNESCO representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity will ensure that Mongolian Naadam is one of the mainspring of world cultural diversity and helps to bring human beings closer together and expand exchange and mutual understanding among them. Currently, Naadam is not confined to Mongolians' entertainment, but becomes a unique festive event which attracts people from different cultures and countries all over the world. The number of tourists and visitors who come to Mongolia in order to see Naadam is dramatically increasing year by year.
Thank you, everyone. So that was the UNESCO's documentary film about Naadam Festival, but also I prepared something more relatable, which means there's a vlogger, an American vlogger who went to Mongolia during the Naadam Festival, and he did some fun posts. So I would like to share that with you.
Mongolia's Naadam Festival, which kicks off with an impressive opening ceremony, is an annual celebration of Mongolian culture and revolves around competition in 3 events: horse racing, archery, and wrestling. These are traditionally known as the 3 games of men, but it's a bit of a misnomer, since women compete in 2 of the events, including the first of the 3 games to take place over the multi-day festival, horse racing. But men in this case is doubly wrong, because the riders are children. On the outskirts of the capital city of Ulaanbaatar, people from all over the country gather to watch and compete in a discipline that goes back thousands of years. Like the other games of Naadam, the riding roots run deep in Mongolia, a culture known throughout history for prowess on the horse. As our guide Hoso explained, this has a lot to do with the legacy left by Genghis Khan, or as they say in Mongolia, Chinggis Khan.
Yeah, I think it's related to our history. I'm sure you guys know that Chinggis Khan, he created one of the biggest Mongolian empire. Horse riding, archery, and the wrestling is one of the important sports to train soldiers. And now it has become one of the national holiday sports of Mongolia. It's very, very traditional sports of Mongolia. Yeah.
Today, this ancient discipline is being broadcast on television across the country.
And this is a national competition, so all the top horses and the top jockeys are here. Okay. People say that this is like the Olympics of Mongolia. Yeah.
First, the riders check in and submit to an inspection.
They're gonna get their fingerprints checked to make sure that it's the right kid and the right horse. And each jockey needs to have a helmet and protection for the elbow and the knees as well.
It can be a motley assortment of equipment. We saw rain boots and more than a few bike helmets. But as long as everything is within safety guidelines, they're good to go.
And each jockey has a GPS tracker as well, in case if something happens to them.
Is they
get lost or fall down and get injured or anything like that.
The Mongolian horse is smaller than average, but many of the riders still need a bit of help to mount their steeds.
The jockeys
They're children.
They're children, yeah. They're children. They're aged between 5 and 13. It's in our spirits. It's in our history. There's an old saying in Mongolia that Mongolian kids learn to ride horse before start to talk. So they love horses and they start at a very young age.
And yeah, some of them ride bareback, in case I needed any more proof that these kids are way tougher than me.
Is that a girl? Yeah, I think that's definitely a girl.
The races are grouped by age of the horse, not the rider. These horses are in the 3-year-old group and are heading to another inspection to verify their age by counting the number of teeth.
They're gonna count the teeth and then they're gonna go to the start line down there and then they're gonna race back and this would be the finish line. I think it's gonna be at least 300-400 horses.
And with so many horses, this process takes a while. Thankfully, like any good sporting event, there's a concession area.
We can go to any of these because they're all food courts, I think.
Inside one of these structures, called a gur, we warmed up with some milk tea and a snack called hoshur. And this is only served during Naadam festivals?
This shape is, yes.
Okay.
Usually it's half round.
Okay.
And because it's Naadam, it's full round. This is specially made Naadam hoshur. It's usually with beef or lamb inside.
Okay.
And onion, salt, and it's fried. In order to eat it, you need to flip it around, roll it around.
Okay.
So I know that in Europe, people put sugar in their milk tea, but Mongolians put salt. So feel free to try and let me know what you think.
That's really good. Nice and soft.
That's good, right?
And it was just made right over there.
Yes, it is.
All right, Mongolian milk tea.
Milk tea, cow milk.
Cow milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just straight up
Yeah.
hot milk. It tastes so good right now. It is cold out there. When we returned to our press box, the audience had showed up, but the riders couldn't be seen, since the starting line is on the other side of these hills. The older the horse, the longer they have to run?
Yes. The youngest one starts from 10 kilometers, and the oldest one is about 26, 30 kilometers. It depends on the horse's age.
The 3-year-old group starts about 16 kilometers away, but eventually they got close enough to see. Watching these hills darken with hundreds of Mongolian riders, it was frighteningly easy to imagine myself centuries in the past, in the path of a Mongol force. A group of 5 ceremonial riders stood by to intercept the leaders and ride with them across the finish line. The kids seemed no worse for wear, though some arrived back without helmets, and some horses without riders. Thankfully, chase vehicles flank the race the whole way, in case somebody needs a ride. I couldn't imagine doing this as a kid, but since many of these riders grew up on horses, they are unsurprisingly pretty nonchalant about the whole thing. How old are you?
Out of 10 years old.
How was the race?
It was really nice.
How many races has he competed in?
About 5 races he's been to. He is proud of himself. He's happy with what he did.
How old are you?
11.
How long have you been riding horses?
He's been racing for 5 years.
Wow. Was the race very long?
It was okay.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah, he wants to be the owner of the horses.
I couldn't get over seeing 5-year-olds heading out on this race course alone. But as we learned, Mongolian kids are tough, and riding is in their blood. In this way, this sporting event gives perhaps the best sense of the proud and hardy Mongolia I could have asked for. The first 2 days of NAADAM, Mongolia's annual traditional games festival, are taken up by horse racing and the opening ceremony. On the third day, we headed back to the stadium in the middle of Ulaanbaatar to see the rest of what are known as the 3 games of men, namely wrestling and archery. Our cab driver was already listening to the wrestling broadcast on the radio.
So I think the 7th round is finishing. That's why he's singing the Song of Praise.
Does he have a favorite wrestler?
He's from Zauhan province, so he is supporting wrestler from the area.
The Games of NAADAM are a big deal. Competitions are held in each of Mongolia's 21 provinces, and the winners meet here to declare the ultimate victor. Once we arrived at the stadium, we waded into the excited crowd, past vendors selling food, homemade commemorative items, and Kodak moments. Many attendees were dressed in their finest traditional garb. Security was tight. Even with our press badges, we still had to show passports to the blue-suited parliamentary guard to get into the stadium through the media entrance. Inside, the wrestling competition was in full swing. To my untrained eye, the wrestling itself looked pretty straightforward, except when it came to the elaborate actions that occur before and after each match. The movements are meant to evoke 2 animals.
So it usually represents phoenix and a male camel.
Camel actions involve the slapping of muscles, while the phoenix dance reminded me of a bird in low gravity.
It's representing the strength and flexibility of those 2 animals. It also shows how your body is better than the other wrestlers.
But for all the posturing, a strong sense of respect is also built into the sport.
Tied West usually represents that wrestler is ready to fight and battle, and untied shows that the competition is finished and I'm not holding any grudge, I'm respecting everything. The wrestler that's lost is bowing and accepting that he's actually lost the competition, so going under his arm. And the other one is also accepting that he won, and it shows that they're respecting each other, and yeah. When winning wrestler slaps, the bum means just work hard if you don't want to get more slaps from me.
Wrestling is also the only event that women do not compete in.
It's an old saying, though. It's a myth that said that many years ago, a woman participated once for the wrestling competition, and she actually won. And men didn't like it, so they've changed the West to open West to prevent women participating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they got beat.
Yeah, they did.
As with any popular sport, new wrestlers are training all the time. A few days later, in a park on the edge of the city, we got to meet the next generation of fearsome warriors. As you might expect, just as much attention is paid in training to the ceremonial format as the actual wrestling. The kids are taught how to do the camel and phoenix dances, as well as how to wrestle respectfully. As in horse racing, kids start wrestling young.
He's probably 3 or 4. Yeah. So cute.
I chatted with the kids' coach about what training is like for a young wrestler.
First, they learn to let the person fall without any injuries. Even though it is a fighting competition, it's not all about winning or not about letting the other person fall. It's all about respect, love, and respecting the audience, getting very nice energy and showing the body and all the muscles that they've got. It's just, it's very different sport. Mongolian boys usually, their very first teachers are usually their fathers. His father taught him, and now he taught his son, which is sitting next to him. Mongolian man needs to be strong and capable in this very extreme weather. So sports represent that character of Mongolian men as well. Naadam makes Mongolians very special. Once a year, everyone gets to feel Mongolian history, and everyone gets to feel that they're Mongol. That's why I guess Mongolians love sports.
Of course, when I think of Mongolian warriors, I can't help but think of archery. In a separate venue next to the stadium, men and women archers compete for supremacy. Each archer fires 4 arrows, tipped with bone or wood, in 10 rounds. Knocking over any block counts as a hit. The archer with the most hits wins. To get a better sense of the sport, we spoke with an archer named Oranga, who's competing in her second Naadam.
That stretchy part is made out of stretchy threads. Depending on the weather, when the weather is hot, the archery becomes more stretchier, and the weather is cold, it's very tight. She needs to feel, and she needs to decide how much strength she needs to use to actually pull the arrow. She really likes archery. It makes people very patient, and she's the first archer in her family. She is very happy that she is leaving this unique culture to her next generation, and she is happy that she's becoming an example of women and participating in the 3 games of men. It's a unique culture. No one else has this kind of Naadam festival.
Perhaps because Naadam is such a Mongolian event, a national TV station got curious about why this blonde guy was poking around.
Being able to see these games that are really historical artifacts is really amazing to see.
Again, these traditional games are alive and well only because new generations of competitors keep coming in. This man runs an archery team in Ulaanbaatar for kids of all ages.
Why archery? Why has he chosen to devote 20 years to archery?
In old times, Mongolian men used to hunt with archers. They used to find their food, and it's because it's part of Mongolian culture. He is very happy to represent this sport.
He even makes his own equipment.
So this is made of 3 things. Mainly it's a horn. There is a tree in there as well, a wood, and as well as a mussel. This is one of the biggest bows that you could see. And in order to make bow, you need to look at the person's height, weight, and strength.
What's the weight difference in pull between men and women?
The weight feels usually less for women. However, it depends on, again, what kind of bow they're using. There are women who's using bigger bows and requiring more strength, and there are ladies using smaller bows and requiring less strength. So it really depends on the preference of the lady. And the men usually shoot from 75 and ladies 65 meters away. And he needs to cover his hands now. It's to protect the hand from getting hit by the strings. But however, if you hold it properly, you wouldn't hit your hand. However, it's just still for protection.
As for the young archers on his team, the sport clearly means a lot to them too.
How old are you? 4.
6.
Why do you like archery?
They think it's not a sport of strength. They think it's a sport of brain and intellect. That's why you can be better than a man. This sport changed his life. He used to get angry very easily before. He used to be a little bit aggressive before, and now he's very patient and he respects people now. So his character is starting to change in a nice way.
Is archery fun?
He likes it.
Not wanting to be outdone by a 4- and 6-year-old, I decided to try for myself.
Drew, you're a man, so you gotta try 75.
Oh man!
So think that this is your root and this is your stand. So
Okay.
flex this and pull strong.
When I fired, the woman's face on the right said it all.
The trickiest part is you're pulling back with your thumb, not your fingers. It's with the thumb.
Okay, it needs to be tight, yeah, and
Okay.
strong. To the right.
That almost got there.
The third shot was the worst of the 3.
Up, pull and up. That's it. Go.
Oh boy. Sorry. Try to keep it in the field next time, Drew.
Be careful if you hit someone.
Yeah.
It's harder than it looks. In my defense, I didn't grow up in Mongolia. I don't know what it's like to be steeped in a culture that celebrates its warrior history through traditional games. But celebrate it they do. Back at the stadium, winners from each event are honored in front of the crowd, with trophies, songs of praise, and the occasional swig of arag, or fermented horse milk. Try serving that at the Indy 500. I may not be very good at Mongolia's historical games, but I do know that such a history deserves to be kept alive. And that's exactly what the people of Mongolia are doing.
Thank you, Tuya, for bringing in your rich culture. And I just want to be mindful about the time. It's 12:44, and I saw that Kevin Beeman is on the call. Hi, Kevin. I'd like to invite you to say a few words. I'm sorry I missed you earlier during the call.
Sure, no problem. Thank you. Fascinating, and what an incredible culture and richness. Just really amazing. And as you were opening, the dates struck me. You know, that we're not talking hundreds of years, but thousands of years, and really fascinating. And I can share that the aviation development team has a someday flight to Ulaanbaatar in our prospects. So there is mutual interest from both sides of the ocean in that flight. So we are working on that, and we would be extremely grateful and proud to see a nonstop flight to Mongolia in the next few years.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Looking forward to that direct flight. Speaking of which, though, Tuya, just curious, since we can't really go to Mongolia right now, at least I can't go to Mongolia right now. I'm just curious, where can we go and find this kind of celebrations here at Bay Area?
Oh, by the way, our NAADAM festival just happened last Saturday, a couple of days ago, in Orinda, California. So Shirley was a guest over there. Shirley, could you please turn on your camera and share your experience, give us some feedback on our festival attendance?
I don't have a camera on my laptop, but it was, yeah, it was really something. It felt really warm and family-like, and like everyone knew each other and everyone was really close. I enjoyed the musical performances and the dances and I saw a little bit of wrestling, and I enjoyed the thing that looked like yeah, yes, the thing that looks like a pancake with meat inside. That was really yummy. Yeah, and everyone was really kind, and yeah, just I just saw a lot of little happy kids running around enjoying themselves. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Shirley.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
this is a one-day event in San Francisco, California, because we only have weekends to celebrate. Although it's Tuesday, as you can see today, is the big event in Mongolia. They celebrated starting yesterday because of the time differences. It's 15 hours different. They're ahead of us. And still, I am receiving lots of text messages from Mongolia, friends and families, congratulating and sending love and peace with the flyers and kisses. So today we have one of my community guests here, Otgirid. He is Alameda Emmanuel Christian Church pastor. So I'm glad that you made it here. Otgirid, if you can turn on your camera and quickly say a few words.
Yeah, sure. I think my camera was on all the time, and then okay. It was a great introduction about the NAADAM festival. It is with these videos, 2 videos, especially this blogger. He made it short and with a lot of contents. I think that one very much. I like that one. And I just want to say about okay, let me introduce myself. Okay, I'm a pastor of Mongolian Christian Church in Alameda. We are our church called Alameda Emmanuel Church, and we have about like 20 church members. And we have here like you might be wondering what kind of religion we have in Mongolia. Mostly we have since 16th century. 16th century, I guess, we had it Buddhist religion in Mongolia. Before that, we had Christian religion, like around 1200, like around the time of Chinggis Khan. So it stopped, and we got it back again in 1990s. So now about 5 or 7% of the population are Christian. We still have Buddhism and shamanism back in Mongolia. So that's the religious, like some statistics. Okay, I want to say about the NAADAM festival. NAADAM festival is a very important thing for all Mongolians, because one of our poets said, like, the NAADAM festival is a kind of vaccine. Vaccine for all Mongols to keep it in like as Mongol, like all other times, like if you saw that documentary, it's just a city as like San Francisco, city as like a Bay Area city. It's a crowded, high rises, and just like technology, all that stuff. But the interesting thing is like once you like 20 kilometers from the city, you'll see that just like people living here as a nomadic people. It from centuries ago, they've been kept that style of life the same as today. And so that's the good thing is like when you go countryside, like visiting one of these like a herdsman family, they have that horse. They have that like wrestling guy in this family. They have one of the people that can like shoot from the arrow. So every family had that direct experience with all this NAADAM festival, And then for me, I want to stay in the countryside because like not much crowded, but you still can feel all the atmosphere of this NAADAM festival. That you can touch the horse, you can feel all the atmosphere, how they excited, all this owner of the horses, like a trainer of the horses, like all the kids. Some of like when they lose it, they're crying. Some who wins, they're like so excited, and you can feel all the like breath of the horses, like they shout when they're racing. All these kids, then it touches heart, and all the people when they hear that sound, many people start crying. It's a very like emotional, very heart-taking that competition. You know, it's a very good thing. And during maybe like during time of summer, like July, August, mostly July. There's many festivals, not festival. Not it's just a main festival, like 3 or 4 days festival in Ulaanbaatar city, capital city. But once you're in the countryside, you can see that Naadam festival everywhere. Every town they have own small Naadam festival. I'm sure you wanna be the participant one of these small things. Now, you can see all the big ceremonies like carrying all these flags from the palace and bringing to the stadium to start the Naadam festival. It's a good things like staying in the countryside with this Lama people, put your tent just next to this girl and like see how they like do the everyday life. You know, it's very interesting. No one can see that except Mongolia, because I'm sure that only the Mongolia have still like open lands. There's no fences. You can travel all around the Mongolia from the east to the west. There's no fence, any fence that gonna stop you from the traveling. So it's a unique experience, especially during time, especially in summertime. Just walk, maybe just drive with a car, bicycling, whatever you do. It's a very good time being during summertime. And also, it's a very safe country. People are very welcome. Once you like before like maybe like 40, 50 years ago, people usually let their gate open. They never lock the door. So like a traveler comes to the house you get, then they can use their kitchen, make a tea, make some food, and then they can go, you know. Yeah, it's very open. If there's someone like sees like in countryside like traveling, just a couple people, or like people when they're moving, you know, then people come toward them, bring some foods, and they sit together and just exchange all the information what's going around the just other side of the mountain, maybe like other country around the world, and then they can leave. And that's the like very unique thing if you see in Mongolia, because as you saw, like grand land is huge. Land is huge. Maybe like 6 times smaller US, maybe 6 times smaller, but there's only over 3 million people lives there. There's like I think it's like 20% of the population, maybe like 30% of the population. They're the nomadic people. They still keeping that nomadic style of life, and it's a unique thing. And then other countries, there is the nomadic people. I can tell, but there's a difference. They are different. Only in Mongolia you can experience all the Naadam festival, nomadic style of life, and open land experience. You know.
Thank you.
One more thing, I want to be in the countryside in Mongolia every time if I have a chance. But they like trying to be there like during the July and August. Now, welcome to Mongolia, everybody. You know.
Thank you very much. Yes, so Mongolians are very hospitable people, and whenever you visit, our doors are open. Even in the countryside, still now people don't lock their doors. They are always open for guests to come in and welcome them and feed them, rest them. And whatever we have, we always offer to our guests. Now, we only have 4 minutes left.
Yeah, and I just want to just open up to the participants or the audience to say some comments or any feedback, or if you have any questions. Again, we only have 4 minutes left. But I just have to say, Tuya and Ogi, thank you for sharing your beautiful culture. And I'm so glad, I'm so grateful to hear that your country is very big about preserving it, and that's really important. And then the fact that at such a young age, the kids are being trained already to be riders and wrestlers and also do the archery. And fun fact about Tuya, tell us about that story that you're a great archer.
Yes. By the way, when I was working at Department of Road in Mongolia, I was working in countryside for surveying, and I stayed in a nomadic family. One night we had attic drinking competition, and so what happened is that night we started riding horses. I mean, I didn't have any experience riding horse, but I was so natural. With a little bit boost of attic, it gave me how do you say it?
A lot of energy.
The energy, right. Bravery too. And then in San Francisco, when I went to Golden Gate Park, there were lots of archers doing archery. And I just wanted to try. I was so intrigued. And I approached them and I borrowed their bow and arrow and started pulling and shot it. And it was bullseye at first try. So with that, I was thinking like, whoa, it is in me, embedded in me, you know, no matter what, it's in our blood.
It's in your DNA for sure. And the other thing I want to comment also I don't see any hands raised, but the food, now you got me curious about that. Is that something that you're open to, maybe lunch and learn, and then you teach us how to make it, or maybe a potluck, and then love to try that, the bread?
Definitely. I'm planning to do some career day for Mongolian youth here at SFO. And then in that, our sponsor restaurants, they'll serve us Mongolian ethnic food. So I want to invite you all to come in for the career day for our youth and college kids to share your experiences as well as try our Mongolian food. That beef or pancake kind of stuff, that's really good when it's hot and fresh. It's crisp from the outside and soft inside.
Oh my, I'll be on your top list for sure, okay, as an attendees. Well, it's about 12:59, and I just really want to take the opportunity to thank you again, Tuya and Ogi, for being here and sharing your beautiful culture with us. And looking forward to hearing more. And I know, Tuya, you offered to do some performances in the future in one of our AAPI events, so watch out for that, guys. Tuya would be so kind to show her dance moves, and so we look forward to that one, and also eat while we watch, right?
Yes. I want to check in if one of my Mongolian community friends is here. Zerga, are you there? Kevin, thank you for coming.
Yes, sorry. Wanted to say hi, thank you, and I think you watched everything what I have to say, and yeah. July is a very good month to visit Mongolia, and it also happens to be close to the July 4th celebration. Yeah, there's a parallel to it, and hope to see you in Mongolia.
Oh, someday when that flight is available already.
Yeah. Stephanie, Mr. Zerga is a Merhor playist, and so he's the one who is going to perform when we have AAPI. In fact, I asked him to bring in the Merhor instrument, but since we ran out of time, maybe next time.
I hope you come back though.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Take care, everyone. Thanks, Tuya. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Adgirde and Zerga, and thank you everyone for coming for your lunch hour. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the time, guys.
Happy Naadam.
Happy
Happy
Naadam.
Naadam.
Bye. Bye.